Hello everyone, Mr. Yum Yum here, and today's video is going to be a little bit different. Unfortunately, I had a horrible experience at Movie World on Friday. Nothing to do with the park itself, it was actually an experience with some other guests. Before we start, I'd like to give a very special shout out and thanks to my channel members, Koala75, Lee Donald, SW Stevie 1, Randall, and Maloney's Coasters. Thank you so much. As you know, I frequently visit the parks to film updates and reports, and to check out additions and changes that are being made. And I frequently visit with Theme Park Ogre, who I'm sure you're aware of. He's a much larger channel than I am, and he films amazing videos covering all the changes going on at the theme parks around Australia. And I won't talk too much about his experience because I don't want to bring up all the horrible emotions and feelings that were associated with it. We were filming an update around the entrance area to Movie World and covering some new food additions that had been added to the park over the last week or so. They added a new Wizard of Oz popcorn bucket, which was themed to the Emerald Palace, which was very exciting and very cool. And they also added a Wizard of Oz themed snow cone. So this is what we were filming. I went to the bathroom to have a quick pit stop, and when I came back, I found out that some other guests had approached Theme Park Ogre and had accused him of some really ridiculous and horrible things. They basically thought that he was filming their children, which is just an absolutely ridiculous statement to make, and it's very damaging as well because obviously that's a very sensitive topic and a serious accusation to make against somebody that can affect their reputation and character in a very real way, especially if you're just spouting off these ridiculous statements in public where people will overhear and maybe look at you and then go around telling other people, and these rumors spread very fast. It's defamatory and damaging. Another member of our group went over to try and clear up the situation and help, and these guests were very unreceptive and disrespectful to the response made. I believe Theme Park Ogre explained the situation, that he runs a family-friendly YouTube channel filming updates, and instead of taking this on board, they doubled down on the accusations and were just really unpleasant and horrible, and basically behaving like bullies. When I heard about this, they also explained to me that these guests accused me of filming a female guest inappropriately, which again is a completely ridiculous and damaging statement to make. I'm not great at conflict, but again, I felt the need to go over and defend myself as well as Theme Park Ogre against these ridiculous statements because, like I said, they're extremely damaging and defamatory. I can't allow people to walk around lying and making these accusations that can potentially damage my character or reputation as well as Theme Park Ogre's. We both put a lot of effort into our channels to make them family friendly, and we always respect people's boundaries, and if somebody feels that they don't want to be on camera, that's something we always respect, and we'll happily remove the footage or take it down because that's the courteous thing to do. We come to the theme parks after all to cover the theme parks, so if somebody doesn't want to be on camera, that's absolutely fine, and everyone's entitled to their own privacy and boundaries. There's no problem with that. And this group was quite large. There were about 3 or 4 men who were obviously very masculine and macho type people, very muscly with like sports singlets and things on, and they had maybe their wives or daughters or girlfriends with them, and also their children. So it was kind of intimidating to approach people. Again, I'm quite a shy, reserved person, so this was challenging for me, but I felt the need to step up and clarify things before they could potentially get worse. And I approached the guests in a polite way, smiling and waving to try and de-escalate the situation and show them that I'm not some pervert like they're accusing me of. This took a lot of willpower because I was very upset and very angry, but I always try to approach a situation in a gentle manner to try and explain the situation in a way that people can understand and to clarify any misunderstandings. In my experience, the root of most conflicts is a misunderstanding or poor communication, so I always try to be as concise and clear as I can. So I approached these people and I told them, "Excuse me, someone in my group told me that you thought I was filming a female guest inappropriately." I explained to them that I run a family-friendly YouTube channel and I would never do anything like that. I also explained that I can completely understand how it may have looked that way. I tried to approach the situation with understanding and compassion because it's a natural concern for people that maybe they would feel worried about other people's privacy or boundaries, and I completely respect that, because there are unfortunately people in the world who don't respect those boundaries, and they do intentionally go out and film people in this manner, which is highly immoral, and I 100% do not encourage that behavior, obviously. But unfortunately, these guests didn't even seem to listen to me, and they just doubled down and actually mocked me. There was one man in particular who said, "Yeah, I saw you filming that hot chick. You waited for her to walk past and then you filmed her ass." And then he actually mocked the way that I supposedly filmed this woman, which was humiliating, like in an exaggerated way, like leaning forward, like looking like a creep, which is 100% not what happened. In fact, I'll show you the footage. If I was filming a female guest inappropriately, why would I get a cool establishing shot filming the palm trees and then tilting down to show the popcorn stand? That's ridiculous. I was focused on getting a cool establishing shot because I like to practice my camera work and I like to film things cinematically. Why would I be looking up at the sky if I was going to film some guest inappropriately? It's just a stupid, idiotic comment to make. And you want to know the irony of the situation? Who's the person here talking about a female guest's appearance and her ass and that she's hot? Not me. This other person. I wasn't thinking about that. I was looking at the palm trees. I was thinking about popcorn buckets. It was this person that was commenting on someone's appearance and objectifying them and saying that she's hot and talking about her ass. Absolutely nothing to do with me. And clearly this person was projecting their own insecurities and their own problems onto me, as all bullies do. People like this can't deal with their own issues, so they have to put them on someone else and belittle people and try to make themselves feel bigger than they are. So I told the guy, "I really don't appreciate you saying these things about me. It's absolutely not true." Yeah, again, they didn't really seem to listen. Some other people in the group told me that it's illegal. I understand the sentiment because obviously when you're filming in a public space, you have to respect people's boundaries. But it is actually illegal to film in public spaces and at theme parks. It is, however, illegal to make defamatory comments about other people that can damage their character. And the situation just kind of ended. The guy said, like, "Okay, whatever," and then started walking away. And he told me I should go and ask this woman what she thought, and hopefully these people didn't go off telling her some stupid lie about me. That definitely put a really horrible spin on the day, which was otherwise an exciting visit to Movie World. And I don't like to share too much personal information about myself, but everybody has something going on in their lives. Everyone's got challenges, and unfortunately my year hasn't had the greatest start. And I've recently had a very difficult situation in my personal life. Again, I won't share any personal information, but I have recently lost someone in my family, and that's what I've been dealing with. And I come to the theme parks to have an escape from the struggles of everyday to day life and have a little bit of fun and to play around with my camera, practice filming and getting better at my hobby. And this experience just crushed me. It really was horrible. And I kind of dealt with it at the time because I'm a pragmatic person and always try to look on the positive side of things and be optimistic and help people. And that's what I was focusing on at the time, because the things that Theme Park Ogre was accused of were far more hurtful and damaging than what I was accused of. But over the past few days, I found that this experience has really hit me a lot harder than I thought, and I've kind of lost a lot of sleep on it, and I keep replaying the experience in my head. Unfortunately, I've experienced conflicts and bullying in my life, and situations where my boundaries weren't respected, and my perspective was not respected, and this brought back a lot of feelings from those experiences. So yeah, just overall an unpleasant time, and it made our visit to Movie World feel quite threatening, worrying about these stupid idiots walking around saying whatever they feel like, and other people potentially hearing it and maybe formulating these opinions and thoughts about us. I already struggle a lot with my personal image and my confidence. It's taken me a long time to work up the confidence and courage to even be able to use my voice in videos. And again, I won't share too much about my personal life and experiences, but I have sometimes struggled with my mental health and feelings of self-worth. So the situation placed me in a really challenging position and has kind of brought up a lot of difficult feelings and emotions, and it's made it really hard to find the motivation to work on these videos. But I felt that it was important to work on this video kind of as an act of closure, but more importantly, to share information for other people who potentially could find themselves in a challenging situation at a theme park, because I know a lot of my viewers are younger and more vulnerable, and some viewers are on the autistic spectrum and have different challenges that other people might not understand. I would hate to imagine anyone who's vulnerable visiting a theme park and encountering someone that makes them feel bullied or threatened, and maybe not knowing how to handle it or how to react. In a way, I'm glad that this experience happened because thankfully I do have a small platform, and maybe I can use that to help people, and that's what I'd like to do. I'd like to turn this horrible situation into something constructive and educational. So yes, although this experience was really upsetting and has kind of cost me a lot of energy and hours, thankfully the theme parks here have resources and people that can help in these situations. And like I said, after this experience we felt quite tense and a little bit threatened, worrying about these people being around the park. So we visited guest services, which is a great place at the park full of people whose job is to help with any concerns or unpleasant experiences that are being had at the park. And the people in here were so friendly and so helpful and so kind and understanding. They definitely helped with this really upsetting experience. They listened to what I had to say, and they got me to write down a report describing the incident, what time it happened, who the people were, what they looked like. So basically they know that these guests are potentially disruptive, and if they cause any more incidents like that, that they can actually blacklist them from the park. And it's not a perfect end result. Ideally, I would have liked to continue to enjoy my visit to Movie World without feeling threatened or worrying about these guests approaching me again or spreading malicious rumors and defamatory comments about myself and other people close to me. But I do understand that the parks have their policies and action steps, and they can only do so much. But the parks do have a security team, and the staff are trained to know what to do in these situations. So for any of my younger viewers or people watching who are concerned about having an experience like this, if you do ever encounter someone who makes you feel threatened or bullied or harassed, the best way to deal with that is always to approach a staff member or someone responsible, like a security team, or to visit the guest services. And they're trained for these situations and they'll know how to deal with it and how to make you feel at ease. The solution is never to get into a fight or to confront people or have an argument, because the kind of people that go around behaving like this and bullying people are the kind of people that could possibly become violent or get into a fight, and that's never the solution. And you always have to think of safety for yourself and the people that you're with and other guests, because these theme parks, after all, are a family environment, and it's important to be considerate of other people and not to cause a scene. So all of the parks here on the Gold Coast do have a kind of guest service available. Movie World has the guest relations office, which is on Main Street. I'm not 100% sure about Dreamworld or SeaWorld. I know that they would definitely have like a guest information center, which I assume is where you would approach the staff to help in the situation. And if you can't find these places, the best thing to do is to approach the nearest staff member who can point it out to you and help you out. And I know at Dreamworld, for instance, if you're feeling overwhelmed or you need some space, they do have the calming cottage, I think it's called, where you can go and have some peace and quiet and relax and unwind if you're feeling overstimulated or upset about something. That kind of brings me to the end of this video. I'd like to end things with a quote from Bill Murray. It's hard to win an argument with a smart person, but it's damn near impossible to win an argument with a stupid person, which is absolutely right. There's no point in trying to argue with idiots or bullies. The best thing to do is to ignore them and walk away from any potentially dangerous situations. But if you do feel threatened, like I said, always approach someone responsible and put your safety first. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm sorry this video is a bit unusual and different. This isn't an experience I wanted to have, and unfortunately it has affected me quite deeply, and I kind of needed to make this to get it off of my chest because it's been making me quite upset and pretty emotional. But thank you for watching, and I hope it was able to help some people. I hope that no one else has had any unpleasant experiences like this, but I hope by sharing my experience it was able to help in some way. And before I finish, I'd like to give a very special shout out and thanks to my channel members, Koala75, Lee Donald, SW Stevie 1, Randall, and Maloney's Coasters. Thank you so much for your support, everyone. It really helps the channel a lot. and it will help me to continue making high quality theme park content. If you would like to become a channel member, you are more than welcome to do so. It will give you access to future videos early, and you'll also receive a special thanks and shout out at the end of my videos. But if you're not in a position to support the channel financially, you can also support by leaving a like, a friendly comment, or subscribing. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.